Hey demons, it's your girl Lucy, and I'm back with yet another video. I think I just posted one like yesterday. I don't know if I'm posting this video exactly today, but I just recently did one. You know, I've been doing a lot of drawing lately that we need to discuss, especially with this new web series that I'm working on. And I mentioned in my last video when I went over like the main characters and stuff that a very important villain antagonist is going to be this psychotic evil scientist guy that is experimenting on and abusing and keeping captive all of these anomalies that he's collecting, and he needs a design. So we're gonna do that today. This video is especially made for him. So yeah, also, I made a name for him. Guys, I never have names for any of my characters, and this guy has a first and last name, okay? I need to brag about that. His name is Finnick Casimir. Yeah, Casimir. I don't know, I feel like Finnick just really fits the kind of eccentric, wild vibe that this guy gives. I don't know, I really like him. He's a bad person, but I really like him, and I really like how his design turned out, so let's get into it. So the first thing I feel like every villain needs is a good backstory, so I want to kind of delve into that. And trust me, I am not making this guy sympathetic in his backstory. Oh, hell no. Okay, so this guy grew up with two loving parents and was an only child, so he was constantly spoiled with all of their attention, and he did not appreciate this. He was very, very much a loner as a kid. He didn't have like any friends, and you know, because that's because he spent a lot of his time torturing small animals and doing the experience and messing with kids just to see how they would react and noting down their reaction. Yeah, he was he was a character, but his parents always tried to support him, and yeah, he did not appreciate that. He ended up going off on his own, and he found this like abandoned house that he was sort of set up shop in. That's where he would like capture all of these. He would find all of these little quirks in reality that he found super interesting. Usually like animals. Like I can imagine him finding a turtle that has two heads somehow and taking it in, or like a bird with different colored feathers than the rest of the species, and like capturing it to study it and do experiments and just also torture it in this house that he found that nobody else would dare come up to. He ended up spending so much time in there that I think it would have become like a haunted thing in his neighborhood. Like, oh my god, don't go up there. That's where the creepy kid that tortures animals hangs out and is probably going to shoot up the school. So let's say from that house, he was definitely bullied as a child in the fact that kids made rumors about him because he was like a psychopath doing all of these crazy things and wouldn't make any effort to interact with any of them. So honestly, I don't feel that bad for him for getting bullied or anything like that. He was such a loner, but he was having fun up there, you know, torturing people in his house. And as he grew up, he like began to fix up the house a bit more, and was somehow the house, I also imagine, led into like a sort of expansive basement where he could like hold things. He built a lot of places with cages and things like that to hold all these things that he found. He really liked to collect things. He liked the feeling of like owning something, being in control of it, of these small little helpless animals. I feel so bad for the animals. I actually hate him for this. I don't care about him hurting people as much as I do the fact that he hurt a lot of animals. That makes me really upset. Anyway, so his parents obviously started to become very worried, right? So they were trying to like not have him go to this house and hide out. They were like trying to get him to interact with other kids, like go make friends, go be a normal teenager, be nice to people, stop torturing mice that you find in the basement, all of that. And he did not appreciate that. And I think his parents would have been one of his first human experiments that he tried, and he was able to capture them, and he tried injecting them with all these different things that he was able to steal from a hospital. I think that he would have done volunteer hours there, and just so that he could look at all the medications they had and how they worked with people and study how the human anatomy worked. And I think he would have ended up killing a bunch of people in that hospital, but not gotten suspected, since he was just this high school kid that was just supposed to be like helping out, grabbing things that the doctors would need and things like that. But he was able to take a lot of things from that hospital that he really shouldn't have, and that gave him access to a lot of dangerous substances and stuff like that, and he ended up using those on his parents. His parents did not survive this, but he didn't really care. He was honestly just happy to be on his own now. After the death of his parents, he basically shut himself off entirely in that house. And there were definitely rumors that he was the one that killed his parents, and that is 100% true. And honestly, society just kind of forgot that he was there. The house was kind of off in the woods, so he was like he was pretty well isolated. And basically, like, the schooling system, the foster care that he was supposed to go to, everybody he knew in school just was kind of satisfied just letting him sit up there in his house doing whatever he does. And as he got older, he began to like expand his experiments, and kids from the neighborhood would begin to go missing. And that was him. He was experimenting on them, but he was not satisfied with the fact that the normal human body could not sustain and like continue to survive through all of these experiments that he was doing. They would die. They would die every time. And he was kind of a little pissed off about that because he wanted something that he could experiment on and have fun with and torture and like have with him forever and not have to worry about it dying because humans are just that fragile, and he would be able to like have it with him. So that's when he began going back into those anomalies that he did as a kid. He was able to find these weird little anomalies in nature, but soon he began to realize that there were anomalies closer to human with human-like intelligence, but were different so that they could withstand a lot of the experiments that he wanted to do. So he actively began hunting down those anomalies, things that came out just like a bit wrong in the world, so that he could take them and have them as his little prisoners that he could do whatever he wanted with. One of these first anomalies was the main character of this web series, who does not have a name yet. This guy has a first and last name, but the main character doesn't have a name yet. Please help. And I think that the main character would have been one of the first anomalies that he was capable of finding. And that's why he grew so close to the main character, so much closer than any of the other anomalies. And he was just very attached to the main character. He was the first one that he found and was successful with and could experiment on and study like the certain powers he had, why it turned out this way. And he was just very excited by this and ended up keeping like the main character's sort of pet. He was very mean to them. It makes me sad. And the more he looked, the better he got at like finding anomalies. He created things that could track like when there was things certain off in the energy of certain places, and like go looking there and could find these things and figure out how they were created and all of that. And that's basically what he spends his time doing now. He is I would describe him as very obsessive. Like, he really, really obsesses over these anomalies that he has and like does not want them to leave ever. So when the main character ends up escaping, he freaks. He's not the most stable individual. So yeah, he freaks out. And that's where the story starts. This is our villain for the story. I like him. I think he's a very interesting villain with the way that I can see him acting. He's very eccentric, very weird. He definitely sees himself as better than other people. That's another thing. He definitely thinks he's better than everyone else, and that's why I can see him sitting alone in his house, just like judging the people that walk by in the society and completely rejecting all of it as he tortures the anomalies he has kept in his basement. So that is this guy. Let me know what you guys think of Finnick Casimir in the comments. And thank you for watching. Bye, guys!